श्रीनन्दनन्दनं वन्दे राधिकाचरणाद्वयं गोपीजानसमायुक्तं वृन्दावनं मनोहरं नमो विष्णुपादाय राधिकायै प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्तकारायणैति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय गौरपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिविज्ञान भारतीति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पश्चात्यादेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः संकर्षान्करणद्वेषि गर्भोदशि च वैदेशि शेषशयशमृषकलासनित्यानन्दक्य राम शरणं ममास्तु नमो महावनन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरविषे नमः दिव्यारण्यदन्यकल्पद्रुमधा श्रीमरत्नगारसिंहासनेस्थो श्रीमद्राधाशीलगोविन्ददेव पृष्ठद्भिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि प्रिये त्वयैवस्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विक्कनाय राधे त्वं नायमं शरणन्तिकं तमोधारं प्रपद्येऽहं श्रीराधारमणं प्रभुं प्रभुर्यस्य तत्पृष्ठा कर्तिका सेवितो भवेत् भक्त्या विहीनापराधलक्षे क्षिष्टष्टकामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयितं शरणं प्रपान वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं यत्रापि कृष्ण वृषभानुपुत्रादानं गृहीतुं कलहं वितेने श्रुतेष्प्रियत्रमति यथा श्रीगोवर्धनो मे दिशितम् अभीष्टम् जय रे जय परमहंस महर्षाय श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर जय परमा करुणमय दीनहीन गतिर्गति श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्री रूपा श्री सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय केशवाभिनरूपिणे श्री श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त वामनाहिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय श्री केशवप्रियात्मने श्री श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त त्रिविक्रमिति नामिने First of all, I offer my slow obeisances to the lotus feet of my most feared Harinam and Diksha Gurus, and the lotus feet of my most feared Harinam Guru, Nitya Leela Parvisht Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pri Prajachari Varya, Astotrishta Shiman Bhaktivedanta Shalanaran Goswami Maharaj Shalaviridi, and I pray for his causes mercy. Lord, I properly glorify Shalavan Maharaj and Shadrikar Maharaj Ji. And I offer my slow obeisances and the lotus feet of my most feared Diksha Guru. Nitya Prishth Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prevracharya Varya Astotrishta Shishman Bhaktivigan Shalabhariti Goswami Guru Maharaj. I pray at the Lord's feet of my most rich Guru Maharaj to please bestow his mercies. Properly glorify Shalabhariti Goswami Maharaj and Shadrikar Maharaj. Until let us feed my most revered Param Guru Devs, Shila Bhakti, Pragyan Keshu Sumarash, Shila Bhakti Daik Madhu Sumarash, and Shila A.C. Bhakti Ram Swami Prabhupada. And on to let us feed about the Vaishnavas present here, headed by Pushpad, Param Pushpad Rindani Swami Raghava Maharaj, Sade Prabhu, Shamasundar Prabhu, Arjuna Prabhu, Tamal Krishna Prabhu, Sevya Mataji, Dalita Saki Mataji, Vimala Mataji, Shankarasi, Anand Pradai Nidiri, and all the Vaishnavas. Oh, Tangi Vidya, India Mataji, cannot forget her. Never. And I mentioned Tamal Krishna already. And let us hear all the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnavis, and to everyone present here. Oh, and I forgot Rati Manjari Devi. Praying for the mercy of everyone here. To speak on the glories of Shilavamnu Smash and Shilavamnu. Alright, I don't think this day needs much introduction. Otherwise, none of us would be here. Today is the most auspicious disappearance day to great stalwart acharyas in our line. And not only that, our dear Srila Gurudev's dear godbrothers. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Acharya of the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, after Param Gurudev, and our most revered Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj. This day, these two Vaishnavas were extremely dear to Srila Gurudev. In fact, after Vaman Goswami Maharaj and Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, they left Srila Gurudev, he said, I also want to leave on this day. And it so happened that in 2010, Srila Gurudev got extremely sick, and this day came around, and all the devotees, they were very fearful. Oh, will Gurudev leave on this day or not? And they all started praying, and especially our Tirtha Maharaj and our Van Maharaj, they were outside Gurudev's room. They chanted so many different mantras. I think they were even chanting the Shinkavach and Rainkavach and other mantras. And the next day that Gurudev woke up, Gurudev was so angry. He said, I wanted to leave on this day, but you didn't allow me. So, enough katha on that day. So, I'm very happy that everyone is here today. I to honor these great acharyas. When I came here, there was nobody here in this room, and I felt disappointed, thinking, oh, I don't think anyone will come today. I had no faith that anyone was going to come today. And time was clicking. Then slowly but surely, some Vaishnavas started showing up. Seva Mataji, Rati Manjari, Tungavidi Mataji. And then Tungavidi Mataji told me, oh, you know, our Guru Bhai, who's been a hermit for so many years, who's been living in Mayapur and Braj and so many places, he's here now. Our Raghunath Prabhu. And I said, oh, Raghunath Maharaj is here? And she said, oh, you know him? Oh, I know him very well. And I became so happy. Like, yes, Raghunath Maharaj is coming, Raghunath Maharaj is coming. I became so happy to hear that our Raghunath Maharaj was coming. I remember in New Braj, this was some years ago, 2019, I asked you, so when are you going to take sannyas? And his response was, when you start getting serious about this process. And now he's a sannyasi. So I'm still not ahead, but he's gone ahead of me. Now look at him in his sannyas vesh. What is your title, Maharaj? I keep calling you Raghu Maharaj, but I don't know what the other part is.
Bhakti Rakshak.
Bhakti Rakshak Raghava Maharaj Ki Jai. So, before I begin speaking anything about our Srila Vaman Maharaj and Srila Trivikram Maharaj, I would like to say one thing. When our dear Vaman Goswami Maharaj and he entered Nitya Leela, I was a year old. You know that? 1 year old.
Oh.
Egg.
And when our Srila Trivikram Maharaj entered Nitya Leela, I was not even born. So all of you Vaishnavas here are present. All of you either had the personal darshan of Srila Vaman Maharaj and Srila Trivikram Maharaj, or you have immersed yourselves in his teachings and in glories. So I do not feel it appropriate that I speak first before all of you. So I humbly request upon our Raghu Maharaj that he please speak first. No, Maharaj, I've not seen you in so many years, then you come out all of a sudden, and then you don't, and I can't hear your Harikatha.
This is a very embarrassing day for me.
Oh, please inform us.
We are We were on party ground in I don't want to spend time. I want you to speak.
I will speak. I will
I
speak,
didn't
no
come
doubt.
to speak. I came to hear, but I have to tell you, it was a very foolish thing I did. And we were in Navaduni, we were at the Devananda Gaudiya Math. And Gurudev, of course, we're following Gurudev all over the world. And it's the first time we got to see Srila Bhavan Maharaj and Srila Trivikram Maharaj.
What year?
Yeah, what year? Maybe 98? 1998, something like that. Anyway, we were upstairs, and then the devotees started circumambulating where Vaman Maharaj's room is, and Trivikram Maharaj's room was. And, okay, you really don't start throwing stones at me. Don't throw heavy objects. I was coming from California, puffed up, crazy. And I said, well, Vaman Maharaj will certainly want to see me. I've come so far. And all the devotees were going around where he was staying. I just walked right in.
Into his room?
I just walked right into his room, saying he naturally wants to see me. Don't try this at home. And as I grow older and older, I'm so embarrassed by my audacity to walk into his bhajan kutir unannounced and just acting so high-flown. So for me, and by the way, he was so kind, but for me, this was a very embarrassing day. I was so flagrantly juvenile. So that you
Bhakta okay Darasham, though.
So what happened next?
that was it.
Oh, that was it.
I was embarrassed, yeah.
Gotcha.
He was very kind. Oh,
He was very
he saw what an idiot you are, sir. Just sit here and take that shot.
Yeah. That was one of the qualities of Srila Vaman Maharaj. He was very kind. He was also very grave, extremely grave. He's also extremely not talkative at all. He had this famous saying, "Dekite shunebe bolibe na," which means see. Dekite means to see. Dekite shunebe means to hear, and bolibe na, it means don't speak. Yeah, Srila Vaman Maharaj, he was not talkative at all, but he was not talkative at all. I remember our Bhaktivedanta Padmanabh Maharaj, he was speaking once that.
Who?
Padmanabh Maharaj.
Oh.
Yeah, he was speaking once that, and it was during Navadi Pradikram and Srila Vaman Maharaj was there, and Gurudev was speaking. And then after Gurudev spoke, some devotees, they tried to get Srila Vaman Maharaj to speak, but Srila Vaman Maharaj, he wouldn't speak. He would just listen to the Harikatha. They tried and they urged him a couple of times. But
Wait, she can't go. You have to talk.
No, I'm coming back. I have to look at something.
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna get her to speak.
She has.
Would you like to speak, Paul?
By the mercy of Sri Sri Guru, we have come to this most auspicious day, and Srila Gurudev introduced us to two of his stalwart godbrothers who are extraordinary Vaishnavas and servants of Mahaprabhu. And I never got to meet any of them, but through the Bani that they spoke, that Gurudev repeated, and through his servants, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Van Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Tirtha Maharaj. We learned so much. Then I heard from Shyam Prabhu that once he went to his darshan and he had glasses on, and he was like almost in samadhi, and Shyam was able to get his darshan. So I've heard about him and received his darshan by hearing from others, and I'm very, very appreciative of his Vaishnavata and all the erudite scholarship that he contained. I think he came to Srila Vaman Maharaj Srila Bhakti Pragyan Maharaj when he was 7 or 8 years old. And he served him for many, many years. And they trained him by telling him, oh, every time you learn a verse, we'll give you one sweet. So he became like a walking encyclopedia over an accumulated time. And sometimes he would do dictation of the lectures of Srila Bhakti Pragyan. And Bhakti Pragyan Maharaj would maybe say one verse, Nityanam, Chaitanas, Chaitananam. And then Ban Maharaj, when he wrote it in the article, he would recite the whole verse because of his great memory. He was Shrutidar. Anything that he heard once, he remembered. Anything that he read, he remembered. This morning in Vrindavan, Ban Maharaj was speaking about his Gurudev, and he was telling like this, that even when he was a young boy in school, he would come to his class and never open his books, and his teachers, they noticed it, and they would ask him like, why don't you study? And then one of the students said, oh, he knows everything, you just ask him one question. So the teacher tested him, he opened the book and said, what's in this chapter? And he said, let me see the chapter. Then he said, oh, in this chapter it says this, and that. Everyone was completely astonished. What the speaker, when he came to the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, he was very instrumental in the preaching of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, and he took Diksha from, Harinam from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati at that young age, and later on, his dear friend and Shiksha Guru gave him Diksha into the mantras. How he heard the mantras, or he was made to receive the mantras, was that someone bared forth a witness against the Mat, and they arrested all the devotees there, including Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj. They were all put in jail. And then he would come to do service, and although he was trying to make sure they got fed, the devotees that were in jail, he took care of the Mat, he cleaned the Mat, he took care of the Matvasis, he served the deities, and then one person was pretty much disturbed that he doesn't have Diksha, so how can he actually serve the deities? And Srila Bhakti Pragyan already knew his Vaishnavata in his heart. He knew that Krishna is accepting his offering. But just to satisfy everyone else, he gave him Diksha in the jail. And so it's to hear his life story is so amazing, and it's our great good fortune to hear this type of katha from all the devotees who were eyewitnesses, and those who heard later on, and those who read about it. So all of us are very fortunate that this information has crossed our ear holes and go into the heart. This is our darshan of such a great Vaishnava as him and Trivikram Maharaj. Trivikram Maharaj is also very, very bosom friend of Srila Gurudev, and he'd always protect him and help him. He trained him up in the Mat. Srila Vaman Maharaj went to the train station late at night because Srila Bhakti Pragyan asked him to go and pick up Churariji. And he went there, and in those times the rail stations had no electricity, so he had a little lamp, kerosene lamp. And he said, are you Churariji? He says, yes, but how did you know? I did not tell anyone. He says, oh, my Guru Maharaj knew you were coming, he sent me to take you. So they had very loving dealings for so many years, and after Srila Bhakti Pragyan Maharaj left this world, out of the love and affection for their dear Guru, and out of their affection for each other, they were all able to continue the teachings and prosper the Mat and all those devotees who came. Later on, Srila Gurudev was sent to Mathura, and a lot of those devotees that he had trained up, they came with him, and he continued to nurture them. So out of love and affection, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Maharaj, Gurudev nurtured his disciples and helped train them up. And he once teased them like, you are like Lord Brahma, you're the creator, and you created all these disciples, and I'm like the mother, taking care of them, feeding them, changing their diapers. It was like a very funny joke. But they had so much love and affection for each other, and they had so much Guru Nishta. And on a day like this, we pray for the two of them, all three of them actually, that their Guru Nishta that they had for their Guru can enter our heart, and we can serve in such a way that we can nurture and bring other people to Krishna consciousness and help them grow as well. So on this day, I'm taking the foot dust of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Chudikram Maharaj, and Prabhutraya Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. Pray for their causes, mercy. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, you were mentioning about Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj being like an encyclopedia. You know, one disciple.
You're like that.
You know, one disciple of Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he approached Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj. And Janardhan Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj, he was speaking to him. And as he was speaking to the devotee, he kept addressing Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj as Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Yes, I met at Vaman Goswami Maharaj in this time. Me and Vaman Goswami Maharaj are very good friends. And the disciple kept hearing this, and he asked, Maharaj, you're senior to my Guru Maharaj. Why are you addressing him as Goswami? This is Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj. He's younger than Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj. But Srila Janardhan Goswami Maharaj, she was calling him Goswami. He's addressing this very high title. And Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj said, yes, there is a reason why I'm addressing your Guru Maharaj as Goswami. So one time, when we were young, myself and Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, we were resting in one place, and I noticed that Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he would always get up in the middle of the night and he would go somewhere. And for many days he would do this, and I didn't understand what he was doing. And so one time, I got up with him and I asked, where are you going? And Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj said, oh, yes, come with me. I think his name, Anantaram. His name was Anantaram. Yes, Anantaram Prabhu, please come with me. And then he took me to this library, and where there was various scriptures of the different acharyas. And I saw that Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he was just reading them. And he showed me, look at this Shastra. And Srila Vaman Maharaj kept showing him Bhakti Janardhan Maharaj, all the different books. And he kept on reading. And Srila Bhakti Janardhan Maharaj said, and he kept on reading and showing me all these things, and I fell asleep. Right there. But Srila Vaman Maharaj, she stayed up all that whole night reading Harikatha.
Wow.
And reading all these things. Yeah. You have three pillars of the Gaudiya Samiti. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Yes.
That's what they called our Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, and our Srila Gurudev. They would say that, like you mentioned, Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he would create the disciples like Brahma. He would put them on the path of bhakti, giving them Diksha and Harinam. And then our Srila Gurudev, he would nourish them like Vishnu. And Gurudev's name is Narayan, so it fits in perfectly. He would give them, he would show them the principles of bhakti and all these things. And our Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj, he was a fierce character, a fierce nature. Actually, although he was like that, our Srila Gurudev said he was like that externally. I remember our Padmanabha Maharaj, she was explaining when the devotees first came on their first Brajamal Parikram in 96. I think Srila Gurudev introduced everyone to Srila Trivikram Maharaj, saying, this is my godbrother, other than Shiksha Guru, Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj. He's like a lion. Externally, he's like Govardhan. Externally, he's very fierce and very hard on the outside, but very smooth on the inside. Anyhow, Srila Trivikram Maharaj, he had this special character of being fierce sometimes. So, like Mahadev, like Shiva, like Mahesh, he would get rid of anarthas. Thank you very much.
No? Go ahead, I want to hear you speak.
But you were telling me something about Srila Vaman Maharaj a couple days ago.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
No, I don't have anything to say. Just talk. Go ahead, speak when you can talk.
Huh?
Would you like to
Yeah,
speak?
you had some association.
Yes, you actually had Srila Vaman Maharaj's darshan.
Yes, I mean, please.
Yes, you actually had his darshan.
Oh, she has.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
1 minute.
Try to
My
keep
God.
it all to yourself.
Minute, 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Amen.
I offer my pranams to my beloved Gurudev, my beloved Vaishnavas, my beloved Guru Bens, Guru Bhais, and all sentient beings. So I mean, every year we would see Srila Vaman Maharaj and Srila Trivikram Maharaj, and Gurudev's room and Vaman Maharaj's room at Devananda Gaudiya Math was connected, and there was a path around both of them. So when we did parikrama, we could do parikrama around both. And we would always go into Srila Vaman Maharaj's room and pranam him. And then we would go into Gurudev's room and pranam and have some talk with Gurudev. And while it's true, I think for Westerners with Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj, there was a language and cultural gap for many, unless you were fluent in Bangla. Because with the Indian devotees, he was actually quite talkative, jovial, like so many sweet dealings between him and Umadidi. Just like you would see with Gurudev and all of Gurudev's daughters, you know, how Gurudev would joke with us and, you know, so many things like that. Also, Srila Vaman Maharaj was that way too, with Umadidi and other Indian devotees, but he was always, Harinam never left his lips, even when, you know, he was having a conversation with someone, in between the sentences, then you would see his lips moving with silent Harinam inside him. So even, I think by the time I met him, he was chanting minimum 2 lakhs daily, if not by that time 3. Right, because he was already elderly and deep into bhajan. And he kept a cloth next to him, and you would see him, you know, wiping his eyes from tears from Harinam. And Trivikram Maharaj would, Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj, one thing, he was also quite jovial, but one thing I can say about him, it was very funny, because Gurudev was a butterer. I mean, he buttered people up. If you had some, like, I had, you know, my ego, it's totally smashed now, but my ego at the time was cognition, okay? So Gurudev would, even though I'm a college dropout, he would tell everybody I was PhD, PhD delete. Now, I don't know what the delete means there. I guess it's an Indian thing, I don't know. Or maybe it's an academic thing, I never made it that high. And then you had Shamaladidi, who was very good with like herbs and herbal healings, and the ear cone thing, which she did to Gurudev. He would tell everyone, she's a doctor, she's my medical doctor. You know, we're both like, oh, I'm a PhD, so I'm a type of doctor, and Shamala's the medical doctor. It's so funny, so Gurudev, whatever, like he saw that you valued, some egoic thing that you valued, Gurudev would butter you up. Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj wasn't going to butter anybody up, okay? So Gurudev, like when ISKCON devotees would come to Gurudev, sometimes they would be introduced by another one, and oh, so-and-so Das or so-and-so Das, he distributed so many books in the 70s, and Gurudev would be, very good, you know? But like, I've seen people try to introduce to Srila Trivikram Maharaj like this, nothing. You're silence. you're not going to get any acknowledgement for anything, you know, from Srila Trivikram Maharaj. And I'm like, good, finally. Anyway, so well, you know, Gurudev and Srila Trivikram Maharaj were always doing their little joking on Navadvip Parikrama, Trivikram Maharaj taking Sham Sundar's side, taking, and then Gurudev taking Radhika's side. And so I don't have to go into that, everyone has seen that, everyone knows the conversations, but it was very sweet to see. And then in the evenings in Navadvip, you know, Navadvip was the best parikrama, it really was. We only went 5 days for parikrama, right? So 5 days, packed, Gaur Leela, in so many moods. And in the evenings, gathering on the mandap there with so many mosquitoes, and then the mosquito frankincense being thrown out to us, and we're all like coughing. Anyway, it was great. And then, so Guru Dev, now I'm trying to remember the order, I'm sure it changed sometimes. But Guru Dev would be telling like very beautiful Leela Katha of Gaur in Navadvip, and weaving in and out of Braj Ras, and everyone's just wow, Chamatkari Suk right there. And I think Srila Vaman Maharaj, when he would speak afterwards, it was very heavy Siddhant, Gaur Siddhant, And so all of these moods we would remember, and I remember just taking in the overall vibes that we're here in Navadvip Dham, and Gurudev always said this. This is what I loved. Every year in Navadvip, Gurudev would say this. He would say, we are in Gaur Dham, on Gaur Parikrama, on Gaur Purnima, in the Sangha of Gaur Bhaktas, hearing Gaur Leela. If you are not qualified for Manjari Bhav now, when will you ever be? This is the ideal situation. There's no, I'm not qualified here. Because the only qualification is greed for this thing. And if you're not going to get greed in Gaur Dham, hearing Gaur Leela, from Gaur Bhaktas, on Gaur Purnima, after performing Parikrama, then you will never get this thing. So know right here and right now, this is the prime situation for this. And you will get it. And one thing I just wanted to add, I spoke with Guru Ben Rangadevi from Croatia. Some of you know her. She's in Croatia, but I spoke with her today. So I was asking her, what do you remember from Trivikram Maharaj and Srila Vaman Maharaj? And she said, well, she just brought up one thing with Srila Trivikram Maharaj, that when one day she went to go see him, and he was eating some sweets, maybe I think jalebis, and his sevak was very angry because for health reasons, he wasn't supposed to be eating. So his sevak was very angry, scolding him, and then he took the sweets away. And then he turned, Maharaj turned to Rangadevi and said, oh, I really like these jalebis, I wish I could have, but he doesn't allow. So Rangadevi went to the market and she brought some jalebis. And he was very happy and he ate, but he said to her, these are a little bit too crunchy for my teeth. If you bring next time, if you can bring soft. So next day she went to the market and got the soft jalebis. Meanwhile, I think she said it was Subal Saka Prabhu, Sudanya Prabhu, what is his sannyasi name? Ban Maharaj. Came and found her buying sweets, okay? Oh, who are you buying, who are you buying those sweets for? And she, oh, they're not for me. They're for, I'm buying them for Srila Trivikram Maharaj. She says, oh, you're not buying for me? She said, okay, I'll buy for you too. So she bought, he said, no, I don't want that sweet, because you weren't thinking of me when you bought that sweet. You were thinking of Srila Trivikram Maharaj, so take him those sweets. I don't want any. So then she took Srila Trivikram Maharaj's the sweets, and he was very happy to get finally the soft jalebi. And then she went back to the store thinking of Ban Maharaj, then went and bought him sweets and came back and said, look, I thought about you for these sweets, so you take these ones, and he was happy. So that was one thing, but there were many, honestly, I'm no longer a PhD, so I can no longer remember like I used to. But yeah, so many sweet times. Radhakanti, actually, your Pran Bandhavi, Radhakanti. She has so many leelas with Srila Trivikram.
I'll call her later.
So many, huh?
I'll call her later. Get
Yeah.
some. She's always full of katha.
Well, she's in Braj right now, I think.
Yeah, but she has WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah, you should ask her. She has many with Srila Trivikram. Okay, Radhe.
Die.
Cool. Shampoo?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go
come
ahead.
on, yes.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna make you speak.
I did have the, you know, anyway, here we go. I was,
When we were in Naudri.
yeah,
And
we
it was-
were, and now we were not, and I think that you all know something that at this point I got like a little, you know,
It's okay, babe.
I don't know.
yeah, something that
It's
I have
alright.
to get
It's okay.
it going. Anyway,
Shilvam and Raj was still present. He was
Yes.
giving Darshan, like, he was in the room and we were able to do, just walking around.
Yeah, I was gonna speak that, that, at this time, it seemed that they were like, that it was, you know, known that he would not be with us so long.
Well, he was deep, he was just internal at that point.
Yeah, so.
Not speaking so
We
much.
had the opportunity to go in, have darshan, and then come out. I was like, kinda couldn't come out after seeing him, you know, it's just like really just fixed on him. And then just not long after that, he left, but it was very wonderful, very beautiful. And we had a chance to go in there and, you know, to see his eyes also, you know, he had very, very special eyes. And he looked at me as though, oh, I know what you're thinking in your heart, so don't worry anything. So, you know, and I was just fortunate, as we all are, just to even see him, what to speak of, going into the room and doing the, you know, having, you know, the
Darshan.
yeah, darshan and people, you know, anyway, excuse me, I
You're
can't
good.
much right here, yeah, thank you. And,
Very well.
I remember there was Arishab who Srila Prabhupada disciple. I remember he was describing once. This was before Srila Vaman Maharaj entered Nitya Leela, but it was just, I don't know what was going on in the room, but he was just there, and our Madhukar Prabhu was also there, and Srila Vaman Maharaj, he was. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the context was, but he was just sitting there, and all the there were a whole bunch of Bengali ladies chanting Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. You know, there's just so much Shakti in the room.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
And Vaman Maharaj, he was kind of internal at that time.
Yeah.
That time he was just kind of internal. But there was so much energy in the room that you could feel his gravity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one devotee, he said that he was speaking about Srila Vaman Maharaj. He was a brahmachari and they were doing so many different services in the mod. And they looked at Srila Vaman Maharaj. And I don't remember who this was, but this one brahmachari told his brahmachari friend, you know, even if we do so much service here in the mat, regardless of what we're doing, our Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj, he's doing so much more than us and he's doing so much for us, just sitting there chanting Harinam. He's just doing so much more for the mod and for all the living and for all the conditioned souls just by sitting there, just by chanting Harinam. He did chant 3 lakhs at one point in time on a regular basis. And it's interesting, he would chant 1 lakh, 64 rounds for himself. Then he would chant 64 rounds for the benefit of all his disciples. And he would chant 64 rounds for the benefit of all the conditioned souls.
Yes.
Srila Vaman Maharaj, he would do that regularly. I don't know for how long he did that, but I know he did that for a while, long while. You were mentioning about Srila Trivikram Maharaj teasing Gurudev on Parikram. You know, it so happened that this was an ongoing thing when Gurudev, he would be given the microphone or he would speak. He would request first Srila Trivikram Maharaj, oh Maharaj, you please speak. And Srila Trivikram Maharaj said, no, Maharaj, you speak. And then Gurudev would begin, oh my God, and then Srila Trivikram Maharaj would interrupt, Gananjana Shalakaya. This happened, and then Gurudev would say, okay, Maharaj, you please speak, No, you speak. Okay. Like that, and it happened, it'd go on again and again. One time, Srila Gurudev, he would say, and out of all the gopis in Braj, the topmost gopi is who? Radharani. Who's the topmost gopi? Arjuna already said. So, but I want to hear from every single person in this room.
Radhe!
And then our Trivikram Maharaj would interfere, saying, "Actually, it is Chandravali." and then the debate would ensue. And Shiltrikram Maharaj would do this all the time. And one devotee asked him, Shiltrikram Maharaj, different devotees, they would ask him. And one devotee, she asked Shiltrikram Maharaj, "Why are you always doing this, Maharaj?" I think it was a Western devotee, and Shiltrikram Maharaj said, "Listen, I'm trying to be the anchor here. You have to have a balance with all this Raskata and Siddhanta. You have to be balanced. Otherwise, you're going to become like a sentimentalist. You need to have both." A couple of days ago, you were describing about Radha Krishna's intimate pastimes, and you would speak to other people, and they would ask you, "How is this different from the pastimes of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?" And you said, like, if you don't have that Siddhantic background, you're not going to be able to understand all these things. If you don't understand how Krishna is Bhagavan, Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam, Ashwarya Sasmagra Savirya Shaya, Krishna is full in all six opulences, wealth, knowledge, intelligence, all these things. Then how are you going to understand these things about Srimati Radhika and the Kunj and all these things? If you don't have that background, you will see it as a mundane lila. You'll see it as completely mundane. So our Trivikram Maharaj, he said that he would try to be the anchor in this situation. And it was our Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, at that time Naveen Krishna Prabhu, he asked him once, "Maharajji, why is it that you're always arguing with our Srila Gurudev when he's trying to speak on these confidential matters?" And you know what Srila Trivikram Maharaj said? First of all, Srila Trivikram Maharaj, he just looked at Madhav Maharaj and didn't say a word. He just looked at him and gave Madhav Maharaj this such confused look, and he was looking at him, and then he said, "At first I thought you were very intelligent. Now I see that you're a complete fool." And Srila Trivikram Maharaj said, "If there's a beehive there, what's coming out of the beehive besides the bees?
Honey.
What's coming out is honey. But if you get a stick and you whack the beehive, then how much honey are you going to get?"
Depends on how
So much more.
impervious you are to these things.
So much more than a drop.
So, exactly, you say that out loud, please.
More than a drop.
More than a drop. You'll get so much more than a drop. So Srila Trivikram Maharaj, he was beating the beehive. I have to get all the honey out. So, Vimala, you were also there during that time, so I want you to say something.
No.
You were there at the time. I wasn't.
Come on.
Everybody says
You were there.
I didn't either. I had no idea who these personalities were. I was a total idiot. You know,
You're the only one in the room.
I know, and I had no idea who he was. No clue.
What year was it?
Well, that was 2003. That was the last year we went with David Benjamin in line. So, yeah, such good fortune, but complete, like, no, you know.
Because it was just a thing that they, at that point, they would just let people in.
Yeah, he was just internal at that time.
That was it.
Yeah. But having the good fortune of having the association of Umididi, who would every year, as I was remembering during Kartik, she would make so many preparations on this day, so many preparations, and she always spoke about her Gurudev, and so we were fortunate, so fortunate to get a little glimpse of this, just such a great personality. Then that one pastime that Sahabu was saying about when Param Gurudev was arrested, and I think like maybe some people, their faith would maybe be a little bit shaken, you know, but Sri Bhamaraj's faith completely strong. It didn't affect him 1% at all, you know, that my Gurudev was arrested, you know, and just served more and more. So, I mean, just an amazing personality, and just want to hear more and more about him. Thank you so much.
There's an interesting thing of Shilvaman Maharaj. He actually wrote it in a letter to one disciple. I don't know who he wrote it to. That's another thing. If you look at that book, A True Master, A True Servant, you can see that a lot of those letters are to Bengali housewives. So Shilvaman Maharaj, he wrote all those letters by hand, and he would explain to all these ladies how they can do bhajan at their home while they're engaged in taking care of their children, and engaging in so many different activities. And Shilvaman Maharaj explained clearly, okay, Ma, you can do it like this and like this. Different questions. And he would also go into different Siddhanta. One lady asked Shilvaman Maharaj about the Diksha mantras, and Shilvaman Maharaj gave an explanation on them. I was speaking thus because in one letter, Shilvaman Maharaj, he wrote saying, I never give people direct instructions. Why? Because I'm taking the position of Guru. And if I give a person an instruction and they don't follow it, they commit Guru Avagya. Guru Avagya, the third offense to the holy name, and thus they can't advance, they won't attain Krishna Prem, and they will go to hell for disobeying the Guru's order. So I don't give anyone instructions. I give people recommendations, or I give people requests. I say, oh, you could do this if it is possible. He would say, oh, perhaps you could do this, if possible. Shilvaman Maharaj, he would say like that. But I was hearing from our Madhukar Prabhu a long time ago that when it comes to letters to Umadidi, he was always very direct. Yeah, you should do this. It was none of this, it would be not, no, he would say, Uma, you should do this. It was very direct, because he knew that she could follow his orders. Yeah. And also, or Shilvaman Maharaj. Yeah, he was not even initiated at that time. When Param Gurudev and the other devotees were jailed. There was a whole thing that went on there. Yeah, Shilvaman Maharaj, as our Sadhguru Prabhu was explaining, he took Harinam from our Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Actually, Shilvaman Maharaj said, I was possibly the last disciple. I was possibly the last person to take Harinam from Srila Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur. And yeah, Srila Prabhupada, he would tell our Vaman Maharaj. He also joined when he was a very young boy, where he was 9 years old. Well, and how he joined was that the devotees were going on Navadi Parikram, and his uncle and his aunt were both disciples of Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. His mother, but also his aunt. His mother was disciple of Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, and also his uncle, Virendra Prabhu. And they were going on Navadi Parikram, and Shilvaman Maharaj, he wanted to go. And so his mother thought, okay, no problem. He'll go with his uncle and he'll be fine. And so Shilvaman Maharaj, he went on Navadi Parikram. He went on the whole Parikram, heard Harikatha from all the different sannyasis and brahmacharis, heard Harikatha from Prabhupada, and after being in the Dham all that time, he decided, yeah, I'm never going back. I'm never going back to my village. I'm staying here. I'm staying here and I'm joining the Math. And his mother was heartbroken, and different devotees, they would come and try to bring him back. But finally, Virendra Prabhu, his uncle, he said, no, it's okay. We'll keep him. No, it's okay. I'll take care of him and keep him here. And so Shilvaman Maharaj, he joined the Math at that time. And yeah, he just engaged in different services. I was bringing this point up, that he took Harinam from Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, but he didn't take Diksha. So during the time that Param Gurudev and everyone else were jailed, that came up. That came up because it was during the split of the Gaudiya Math. There was one side here and one side there, and the devotee who was acting as Acharya, he was, I'm not going to say anything, but at Shilvaman Maharaj, he didn't want to take initiation from him, and his disciples, they tried to get him initiated forcibly, to get initiated by that person, but Shilvaman Maharaj, he refused. They even took his japamala at that time that Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada chanted on. They took his mala, and they tried to get him to get initiated, but he refused. And during that time, he was cooking for the devotees. He was doing all these things. But there was one devotee who was cooking for Param Gurudev and the others, but he fell sick and couldn't continue cooking. I've heard this version before. There was one devotee who was cooking for them, one Brajavasi, but he fell sick and he couldn't continue cooking. So the devotees, they were thinking, well, we've taken a vow that we cannot accept prasad from anyone who has not taken diksha. It doesn't matter if the offering was made by a person who has diksha, it has to be even given by a person who has diksha. So we're thinking, oh, what to do? And it was Narahari Prabhu, our dear Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur's disciple Narahari Prabhu. He suggested to Param Gurudev, Vinoda, you give him Diksha mantras to Santosh. Srila Vaman Maharaj's name was Santosh. He said, you give Diksha mantras to Santosh, that way he can cook for us. And so Srila Vaman Maharaj, through the Param Gurudev, through the jail cell, he gave the mantras to Srila Vaman Maharaj and named him Sajan.
Wow.
Sajan means saintly. And then he became known as Sajan Sevak because he was a Sevak. Yeah. There was not one sannyasi or one brahmachari that came to the Gaudiya Samiti or who came to that Gaudiya or came to the original Gaudiya Mount under Param Gurudev. There was not one sannyasi or brahmachari who Santosh didn't serve, who Srila Vaman Maharaj didn't serve at that time. I was trying to remember something else, but I cannot. I can't remember what I was going to say. Ladisa Sakumataji, you're up next.
My favorite story about Vaman Maharaj is a story that Uma Didi told me. And she said one time Vaman Maharaj was sitting in front of an assembly of devotees, maybe around 200 devotees. And all of a sudden, as he was giving the class, a snake came and it was crawling, and it crawled up his chair. It actually crawled around his neck. And half the people in the assembly moved all the way back. Like, they moved 100 feet back. They were so scared, but he wasn't scared at all. And he said, don't worry. He said, this is Ananta Shesh. And then he looked right at him with his hood, and I think it was
it a cobra?
a cobra. And then it came down and went down, slithered away, and that was it. I love that story, but it's so funny, everybody was so scared. And they didn't even go to protect their guru, you're supposed to protect your guru. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And the other two stories, Vaikanas Maharaj gave an incredible class this morning about Vaman Maharaj and Trivikram Maharaj. Trivikram Maharaj, the story I remember is that I think it was his wife, he was married, and his wife was threatening him that if he took sannyas that she would kill herself with kerosene and light herself on fire. She said, please, don't take sannyas, I'll light myself on fire. And he said, oh, I'll give you the match.
You got the kerosene, I got the matches.
You pour the carousel, I'll light the match.
Yeah.
So detached. That's really detached. And what was the other story? Oh, I just left my mind. Oh. What was the other story? I forgot the other story. Thank you very much.
Well, if you will remember, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing with Srila Trivikram Maharaj and his family. Sometimes his family members, they would try and bring him back to the mat. And Srila Trivikram Maharaj, he would speak to them harshly, or he would verbally abuse them, not verbally abuse, but speak to them cruelly like that. And one devotee asked him, not Maharaj at that time, but Prabhu, why do you treat your family like this? And he said, listen, I'm trying to help them, because they're already attached to me. But if I talk to them in this, and that is not good for them. But if I talk to them in this manner, They will start to dislike me and they'll become detached from me. And then I can do my bhajan peacefully. I was just thinking about those jalebis that you were mentioning. I find that very humorous because Shilchar Maharaj himself was a doctor. He was a homeopathic doctor. So I find it hilarious that he was eating something that wasn't good for him. Yes, many devotees.
We all do that.
We all do that, huh? We all do that, huh? Even Srila Gurudev. Many pastimes regarding that. Yeah, but Srila Vikram Maharaj, she was a homeopathic doctor. One devotee, Nanda Gopal Prabhu, his son at the time, his son was sick. Now his son is a sannyasi, or Pujabad Bhaktivinoda Rasikananda Maharaj. So Nanda Gopal Prabhu, he came with his small Rasikananda Maharaj, and he told Srila Vikram Maharaj, Maharaji, I have been told that you're a doctor, and my son is sick. And he said, your son? Yeah. Who's your son? This is your son? Yes, Maharaj, this is my son. This is your son? Yes, Maharaj, this is my son. You made him? Like, you made him? Then Nanda Gopal got the idea. Oh, no, I didn't make him. Krishna made him. He said, oh, okay, I got it. And Srila Maharaj, he said, okay, what is it? What is his symptoms? And he went to his stash. He had a stash of medicine, just like Nanda Gopal described. It was so strange. He had like this stash and everything of all his different medications.
Excuse me. I was wondering, can you tell those ghost stories later?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, ghost
Definitely.
stories?
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
those ones that, yeah.
Oh, definitely. They're right up.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, they're
my
right
mom
up.
just told me to tell you.
Okay, definitely, they're right up. And so Shilchar Maharaj, he would get various medicines inside of his stash. I think Gurudev also may have gotten sick at some point and he also gave, but don't quote me on that. Okay, which one do you want me to tell?
Just both. Maybe.
Okay.
Wedding party.
Okay,
Yeah, the wedding one, yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you about the wedding one. So, upon Arjuna Prabhu's request, one time, Shilabaman Maharaj, this was the thing about Shilabaman Maharaj, is he would go out and he would visit different of his disciples in different disciples' homes. Many of his disciples, they were Bengali villagers, and he would just go out. This was a thing that, at Shilabaman Maharaj, he had a reputation for opening locked doors, for lack of a better word. He would sometimes many of his disciples, they would open their doors and they would just randomly find their Gurudev on their couch or something, or sitting down in their chair. So the devotee who would open the door and said, what, Gurudev, you're here? Dandavad Pranam. And Shilabaman Maharaj said, oh, Haribol Prabhu, how are you? Just sitting casually. And he did this so many times during his, I'm getting to the ghost stories. There was this thing that every year he would read the Gaurivanan Samiti calendar and make sure that his appearance day was not added to the calendar. He would make sure every year that his appearance was not added. And so, one time, the devotees, they gave him the calendar to proofread the calendar. And after proofreading the calendar, Shilabaman Maharaj gave the calendar back and said, okay, that's good. And then one of his sevaks, or one of brahmacharis, they got the calendar, and then they wrote Shilabaman Maharaj's appearance day into the calendar. Like, perfect, we got his birthday in. And Shilabaman Maharaj, she even wrote this to Umadidi and said, oh yes, I'm sure, and he said, oh yes, I'm sure you guys all like that, and you have my birthday on the calendar, but I feel completely embarrassed by this. And Shilabaman Maharaj, it was Srila Gurudev, I think, who actually came up to him and said, Maharaj, today your appearance has been added to our calendar. And so I was speaking how he would go and visit different devotees' houses. Yeah, during his Vyas Puja, or his appearance day, Shilabaman Maharaj, he would just go missing. On the day of his appearance day, where he's supposed to sit on the Vyasasan, get arti and all these things, he would just vanish. And he wouldn't be, and all the devotees were wondering, wait, what happened to him? Where is he? And then he would just randomly show up at the devotee's home. All right, ghost stories. So,
Wait.
Arjuna.
He's getting some instruction.
he's getting some instruction. You still have time, buddy? Okay.
That's just
Okay, quick. So, I had to do this background, otherwise you guys would not understand. Okay, so, once Shilavama Maharaj, he was going to a devotee's home. He was going to one of his disciples' homes, and it was getting very late, and the evening the light kept on darkening, and then he came to this big marriage celebration. There were songs going on, lots of dancing and partying and all these things. And one person, he approached Shilavama Maharaj and said, "Oh Maharajji, please bless this couple. They just got married. You please bless this new bride and groom on their wedding day." And Shilavama Maharaj, he was tired and everything. He thought, yeah, okay, sure, why not? And so he came up to the bride and groom, gave their blessings, Ashirvad, and all these things. I don't know what he said, Om Swastinal Govindaha, perhaps. And then after blessing the bride and groom, he continued walking, and he reached his disciples' home very late at night, and he knocked on the door. And the devotee opened the door. It's like, "Oh, Gurudev, you're here." And Dandavats. What happened? You came so late, Gurudev? And Shilavama Maharaj said, "Oh, yes, I blessed some bride and groom on their wedding day." And the devotee just looked at him so confused, like, "Gurudev, what are you talking about? There are no houses around here." "No harm. Please come inside, Gurudev. We'll look into this matter in the morning." And so the next day that they went out, the devotee came with Shilavama Maharaj and said, "Okay, Gurudev, you please show me where's that place that marriage ceremony took place." And Shilavama Maharaj said, "Oh, this is where it took place. Cremation ground." Cremation ground. A cremation ground. Cremation ground where the bodies are taken and then they're burnt and the ashes are thrown. Krishna knows where. So.
And then he said when he was going to go home, because he told the story this morning.
Yeah.
It was getting late, and then he told the marriage party, "I have to go. I'm late. I need to get home." So they said, "Okay, we'll provide you with a vehicle." So they gave him a vehicle, and they gave him a big basket of fruits. And when he brought the fruits to the mat, they were like, "Where did you get these fruits? They're all exotic. They're not in season." So that was it. A little added thing there.
There was another time that there was this one brahmachari.
So then the point of that is that was a ghost wedding?
Indeed. It was a
Okay.
ghost wedding.
And ghosts get married live?
Oh, he said, Kandas Maharaj said that there was a huge electrical storm, and they all died in that storm
At the wedding,
during the wedding.
so they didn't know they had passed away.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that part.
But maybe once they got the blessings of
Once they
a
got the
great,
blessing,
great soul, then they were able to leave.
they were able to,
Yeah, actually,
exactly, that's what
right?
They
happened.
were able to leave,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Wow.
liberated them all.
Yep. Yeah, that's the point. They took the blessings of Shilavama Maharaj and that's how
Are
they
you
were
intentionally moving out of the camera?
And are you saying that the vehicle that was given to him was ghost gave him the
It was a-
vehicle?
It was a horse and buggy.
And the fruits?
And he said he got back really fast. He couldn't understand why
That horse.
he got there so quickly.
What happened?
He got there. They gave him a vehicle. I don't know what kind of
Really?
vehicle.
Horse and buggy.
And then he said that he got there so fast. He couldn't understand how he got there so quickly.
This was after the wedding?
After the wedding, after they.
Okay.
So he wasn't necessarily aware that they were ghosts.
No, it didn't seem like that.
Okay. It's so interesting.
I never heard any of these details before. I just heard
Yeah, he
about
gave
the
a lot
wedding
of
first.
details this morning.
Gotcha.
Eyeball.
Haribol, thank you for coming. Thank you for everything.
That's
We get some of the shot first? I'm sure there's.
People-
Okay.
10:30.
Okay.
Alright.
No harm.
I could
So-
Is it good?
Yeah.
Arranged?
Let me speak something.
Okay, good.
It's right there. So one day, one Mataji invited Vaman Maharaj to her house. She wanted to feed him lunch.
Yeah,
And he said, "I can't, I already have another engagement."
yeah.
So then he went to the other engagement. And then later on, he met the devotees at the other engagement, to the lady who wanted to invite him.
I'm sorry.
And they said, and she said, oh, Gurudev is so merciful. Raman Maharaj came and honored my lunch, and they were like, what are you talking about? He came to our
That was this morning.
engagement
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Wow.
So,
He did expanded himself.
yeah, expanded himself and did 2 engagements at the same
Yeah.
time.
And so they accused him, oh, you must be lying because he ate breakfast with us.
Oh.
So they approached Brahman Maharaj and he said, let me check my diary. So he looked in the diary and he said, yes, I went to his house and I also went to his house at the same time.
Wow.
And he had breakfast with both sets of disciples. Because of the mystic power and the love that they attracted him with, he was able to honor both. Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Brahman Maharaj ki.
Wow.
I remember hearing this story a bit differently. That there was this lady that wanted Srila Vaman Maharaj to come to her home, but Srila Vaman Maharaj told her, I'm sorry, I have another engagement. But you know what? All the preparations that you want to offer to me, you just simply offer to my picture and I will accept it. And so the lady, she did that. She offered all her preparations to Srila Vaman Maharaj's picture. And when the brahmacharis told him, Gurudev, it's time for you to have breakfast, Srila Vaman Maharaj said, I already had breakfast.
That's a different occasion.
That's a different occasion. Acha.
Oh.
And Srila Vaman Maharaj said, I already had breakfast. But Gurudev, you've just been sitting in your room. You talk to this one Mataji, she will tell you all the things I had. I had this, and this is for breakfast. You go and talk to her. And then that brahmachari, he went and he approached that lady, and he spoke the whole list. And that lady was surprised, like, yes, I made all those preparations and I offered it to Gurudev's picture.
Wow.
So, back on the topic of ghosts, there was this one brahmachari, he went and he took bath. This was in Braj, I believe. I could be wrong, I could be mistaken, but I think this was in Braj. That this one brahmachari, he went and he bathed in one place.
Oh yeah.
And after bathing, after he put his head down, then when he got his head up, brought his head up out of the water, he felt weird. He felt that this is something strange is going on here. It was Vamshivat, really. Wow. He felt this strange. Yeah, it was Yamuna, right? After bathing in the Yamuna, he felt this strange presence. Like, what is that? And then he came back to the mount all disturbed and didn't know what was going on. And it was a lady ghost that followed him. A lady ghost that followed the brahmachari back to the mosque. And I don't recall what she told him, but she would tell him she told him some things, and then the lady ghost said, and if you tell anyone, I'll kill you. So the brahmachari, needless to say, he was very disturbed. And for the next couple of days, he was talking to that lady ghost. And that brahmachari's sister so happened to come and to visit him one time. And I don't know if the devotees of the Maud told her, hey, something's going on with your brother, or if she just started listening outside the door. And then she approached her brother one day and said, who are you talking to privately in your room? And the devotee said, oh, nobody, dear sister, nothing's going on. Said, no, tell me the truth, what is going on? And I don't know if he actually told her or told another brahmachari that some ghost is attacking me. And that either this sister or that other brahmachari, they told him, well, you go and you ask that ghost, what does she want? And so that brahmachari that night, he asked her, okay, what is it that you want, that you'll leave me alone? Well, if I get the Charnamrit from a great 8 Vaishnava, the Manuta Mahabhagavat, I will leave you alone. And the brahmachari thought, great. Now where am I going to get the Charnamrit from Manuta Mahabhagavat? Gurudev is not on here in the Mount. Where am I going to get it from? And so it just so happened that day one devotee came with the Charnamrit of Srila Vaman Maharaj and said, oh, here Guruvai, here's some Charnamrit from our Gurudev's lotus feet. Our dear Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj. And so he got the Charnamrit and he told that lady ghost, okay, I have the Charnamrit now. Now what do you want? okay, you go back to the Yamuna, you go back to the Vamshifat, where I came from, where I started first following you, and you just leave it there. And after going, you don't look back. So that brahmachari went there, he left the Charnamrita, the water that washed Shilabam and Maharaj's lotus feet. He left it there, and then he left. And then the ghost never ever attacked him again. And then he told some devotee about this story, and it was written down. I don't recall his name. The name of that brahmachari is given. Somebody knows his name. I don't recall his name though. It's usually left anonymous, but some devotees, they know the name of that brahmachari.
Who's the ghost lady's name?
We don't know. The lady never told him. Unless
She was a pretty smart ghost lady, that man.
Yeah.
She knew what she wanted.
Yeah. Arjuna, you want to say something? Okay. You sure? Well, you knew about the ghost stories. Do you know any other stories about Shilabam Maharaj or Shilabam Maharaj?
No, I just knew about them because my mom told me about them. She told me one. But I don't really know anything.
Okay.
It's just...
That's okay. Atimanjari Didi, you're up next.
I don't have no nectar. I'm listening to all the nectar.
Oh good.
And then she can
So you can
speak
repeat.
it.
Oh good. So you can repeat something. You tell me something new that you learned today. After an hour, you have to at least learn something new. Repeat what we just said. Repeat something somebody else said.
He was very merciful. He gave instructions to ladies, housewives. On such a high level that he could be with two people at the same time, waiting for child. That was an amazing story. And that he was very personable, and that he was a homeopathic doctor. What? Oh, true. There we go. Okay. Also that was no fear. I could definitely tell he had no fear with these stories of him giving blessings to Buddhas.
When you were saying that Shilabam Maharaj had no fear, it reminded me of this story. That one time, during a Trikram, or somewhere, somebody asked Srila Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, or you're saying that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, what is the proof? Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, he just looked at Shilabam Maharaj and said, speak. Immediately, Shilabam Maharaj quoted 50 different shlokas from all the different scriptures proving that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan. Krishna Varnam Jaja Krishnam Sarvasvasham Kapla Tudustusha Sita Raja Lakshmi, and all these verses, they immediately came to Shilabam Maharaj's lips. Actually, someone asked Shilabam Maharaj once, Maharaj, how many shlokas do you know? And he said, 3 days and 3 nights.
7. 7 days.
7 days, 7 nights. Wow. Okay, Vishal, you're up next. After 1 hour, you have to at least learn something new.
Hare Krishna. I'm admittedly a little confused between who did what on the pastimes, but my impression of these two great personalities is that they are extremely mystical and extraordinarily powerful, more so than I we've been here before, so I'm very grateful for you all to sharing these extraordinary stories that imbue us with so much faith. Hare Krishna. Would you like to speak? He has much to say. I feel that these kinds of pastimes imbue us with so much faith. These very transcendental, mystical experiences like blessing and ghost wedding, and that the foot dust alone with such a great personality would deliver a ghost. Who the ghost would even know to ask for it. Extraordinary pastimes, you know. And that such powerful mind to be able to read anything and just know 7 days and 7 nights. Who knows so much slokas? I mean, how is it even humanly possible? So we know that they're beyond this world and somehow come here to give us their great mercy. And even and I never, of course, never had the opportunity to meet these people, these personalities, but that we can meet them through the sound vibration. So thank you all for sharing your sound vibration. Kata, Darshan.
Ananda Pradayani, I will take care of Tamal. You speak. I will take care of Tamal. I will take care of Tamal.
Okay, you put them in the fridge.
You sure?
Are they for anyone special?
Yeah, for Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev
Well,
on
you
the
pre-
altar.
did
And
you
then
learn
the
something
big-
new?
This one with just red in the middle is for the
Then you-
picture Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. So be it.
And there's lots more flowers.
Thank you.
Lots of flowers.
One last thing I remember is tribute from Maharaj saying, he told one devotee, I want to die alone and unknown. And when I heard that, just like, wow, the humility, such humility.
Well, they have the same kids as Sweeto.
He said, I want to
Yeah. He said,
Oh, yeah. He wants to like.
you know, one of his, when his samadhi was built and everything, it became a very nice marble samadhi. And one of his biological brothers, he commented, yeah, my brother would not have liked how fancy this thing looked.
Oh.
I just thought that was funny.
Such humility. What you learned?
Yeah, mi respeto, sea un devoto puro.
English.
Is there sound?
In humble obeisance
You can translate for her.
to the pure devotee. I just didn't have the fortune to meet him, but about what I heard, I understand that he was very humble and very dedicated to serving devotees' feet. For Guru and Gauriman. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah, thinking about that right now. So I'll just spend at least 2 points more, and then we'll be singing Jaya Nila Premadana to complete the day. Srila Gurudev, he loved Srila Vama Maharaj and Srila Trivikram Maharaj so much. Srila Gurudev, yeah, as our Sadev Prabhu who was speaking earlier, Gurudev, for many, before he joined the Mat, he was at home and he was thinking, I have to leave and I have to join the Mat or something. This is when he was still in Narayan Tawariji. And finally one voice spoke to him, so when are you going to do it? And are you ever going to do it? And Gurudev he heard that voice and just started crying and decided, okay, that's it. I'm just going to leave now. And so Gurudev, he got on the train and he just left. And he thought, I don't even know where I'm going. Navadip Dham, the Mat, all these things were completely unknown to me. And when I got to this train station, I was thinking, I have no idea where to go. As Arsadev Prabhu was explaining earlier, at that time he heard, Tiwariji, Tiwariji. At that time, Sajan Sevak Prabhu, he came with the lamp, our Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj. And he said, are you Tiwariji? Like, yes, I'm Narayan Tiwariji. Like, oh, okay, Guru Maharaj has sent me. And Gurudev asked him, how did you know that I was coming? Oh, Gurudev knows past, present, and future. So the first person that brought him to the Mat was our Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. He brought him. And Gurudev, he always said, Vaman Goswami Maharaj is my Shiksha Guru. Gurudev, he always said that. Vaman Goswami Maharaj is my Shiksha Guru. And when Vaman Goswami Maharaj, before he entered Nitya Leela, he said, I want that Narayan Maharaj put me in Samadhi. Our Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, when he joined the Mat, Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, he was elder to Gurudev, so he would always look out for Gurudev, and he would make sure that Gurudev had everything. He would also quarrel with Gurudev. Gurudev mentioned once, my Gurudev, my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, he never chastised me. Oh, but Srila Trivikram Maharaj, he would chastise me, and he would rebuke me. And then we would quarrel. And we would quarrel, and we would argue, and then we get into very heated arguments. And then Guru Maharaj was called, and then Guru Maharaj would take my side. Anyhow.
Well, that's Gurudev's version.
Indeed, that is Gurudev's version. We don't know what Srila Trivikram Maharaj said.
I remembered one other thing.
Okay, speak.
Make sure it doesn't raise your head. Okay, this is really short. When instructed me to go to school, and he wasn't going to school because he needed to zone.
His clothes.
Yeah, his clothes, and so then he said he couldn't understand how to resolve this because he wanted to stay and wash his clothes.
You can't hold it.
School.
No.
He already just
And then he
took
prayed
one
to
like
learn
video.
because he didn't know how to resolve the contradiction, and so then when he woke up in the morning, his clothes were already taken care of and cleaned and folded so that he could go to school and do both things. And then he told Srila Prabhupada saw, and he asked him, how were the clothes folded? How did this happen? And he told him that he prayed to Nrsingadev, and at that Srila Saraswati Prabhupada had tears in his eyes, and then he gave him a name in relation to Nrsingadev, I believe, and then he also gave him Nrsingadev mantras. Yeah.
Interesting.
And what was the first part of it?
He needed to both clean his clothes and go to school, and he didn't know how to do both, how to follow his Guru's
Yeah,
instructions.
his clothes were wet. That's what
Yeah.
he didn't want to wear wet clothes. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the Nrsingadev, I couldn't.
He prayed to Lord Nrsingadev because he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He didn't want to neglect taking care of his clothes and drying them. And so then when he woke up in the morning, they were folded and
Wow.
taken care of.
I heard it was just a couple of minutes actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because this was all in a very short span of time.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that right, Tamo?
Oh, that makes more sense, yeah.
Ready?
You know, Param Gurudev.
Sometimes he comes to cook.
This final thing I'll mention. Param Gurudev, he said once.
Some other they come here.
I don't know why Param Gurudev, he brought this point out. I'm sure Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, she was speaking, and he said that, you know, in the Mat, there was one on Vaishnav. He was cooking, and he had so much mamata for cooking for Radha Vinod Bihari. And he left the pot unattended, and he went to do some seva. And when he came back up there was one girl who was doing it. And a very beautiful girl. And this brahmachari was so confused how this lady was here. Because no ladies would be in the Mat at that time. No ladies whatsoever. So he's so confused. Anyhow, that brahmachari saw that lady, And she got up and left. She like completely disappeared, and the brahmachari went back, and then he came and told Paramaguridev about it. Paramaguridev said, so that girl was Radharani. I don't know why Paramaguridev spoke that, but what Paramaguridev didn't mention, for whatever reason, is that brahmachari was Shilavam Maharaj. Alright, I do not want to take up any more time now, but today we have honored, or tried to remember as much as possible, Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Samaraj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Samaraj. They were both extremely dear to Srila Gurudev, and Srila Gurudev was very dear to them. So many pastimes, so many relationships, so many details. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. Shri Hari is unlimited, Katha is limited. Kalasmi, Krishna's time, I'm himself, but this material time is limited. So, humbly requesting the Vaishnavas to pray to you all. Thank you all for coming. Let us now recite Janila Premadan. Let us all recite Janila Premadan, declaring unto these Acharyas, because they are Acharyas. Regardless if Tirukam Maharaj didn't make disciples, he's still Acharya because he fully took to the path of bhakti and showed other Vaishnavas how to do so. So I thank you all for coming. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanand. Yeah.
What are we doing now?
Janila Premadana, we're singing one song. Alright, thank you for coming so much, Raghava Maharaj. I want to see you again.
He's coming tomorrow.
Jai. Bhakti Rakshak Raghava Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Okay. Let's find the song and then we'll end the day here. Wait, almost got it. Okay, I found it. You want to sing with me?
I guess no.
Can you? Do you know how to read yet? No?
Really. Well,
Okay.
I kind of do, but I don't really know how to read.
Okay, it's okay. Janila Premadan, you got?
Should we sing together or?
Yeah, together.
Okay.
Nobody's here and we're all.
Alright.
Janila Premadhana Karuna Prachu Hena Prabhu Kota Kela Sharya Thakur Kaha Mora Swarup Kaha Sananta Kaha Dasa Raghunata Patita Pavan Kaha Mora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Khota Gela Gaura Nataraj Bashane Koti Bho Mata Anale Poshibho Gauranga Kunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pabho Se Sabha Sangira Sange Ye Koilo Vilas Se Sangana Paya Kandhe Narota Premadhana Karuna Prachu Ena Prabhu Kota Gela Sharya Thakur Jaya Vaishnava Thakur Jaya Vedanta Shila Trivikram Goswami Bhakti Vedanta Shila Trivikram Goswami Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Shila Trivikram Goswami Bhakti Vedanta Shila Trivikram Goswami Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nectar Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nectar Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo जय श्री गुरुदेव भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय श्रील भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज गुरुदेव की जय श्रील भक्तिवेदांत विक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय श्रील श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय नाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय जयेश्वरी श्री कार्तिक देव श्री राधा रानी की जय जय श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय
Hari Hari Bo.
हरि हरि बोल